That time again, people. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Sweetfoot Tony. Welcome to STS, man. It's a great day, man. It's Super Bowl week. I told you, I promised you I was gonna be here for you, man. For Super Bowl week. So it's a nice Super Bowl edition of STS, man. We're gonna jump right into it, man. First things first. First order of business. We gotta address the Rookie of the Year. Y'all already know I'm a Skins fan, so you already know who I'm going with for Rookie of the Year. It's all about RG3. Hit me up on Facebook, or you can hit me up on YouTube, and let me know who you think. I mean, we've had this battle and this discussion all year, and, shout out to my man David Hilton on Facebook. Shout out to Tony Bronex, Sean Waller and them, everybody. BCT, I see you. Real Husbands of Facebook. But it's all about RG3, man. We can go over the stats. Him, Luck, and Wilson. They all had their points, man. But like at the end of the day, it's all about the fans' vote. And as the person who sold the most jerseys, why wouldn't he win Rookie of the Year? For the person that took, his team not only to the playoffs for the first time in a few years, but he also delivered the first division championship win in 13 years. That's something Luck and Wilson's can't say that they did. So, I think they're all great quarterbacks. I think they're all going to have long, prosperous careers, in the NFL. But at the same time, if we're just talking about this year and the best rookie out of all of them, I mean, I'm not saying it's a blowout or by it's a landslide. I just think RG3 is going to win. But if you think think somebody else, let me know. Next order of business. The best wide receiver of all time. I don't know if y'all know Randy Moss. During media week is saying that he's better than Jerry Rice and everybody, and not he didn't say specifically he was better than Jerry Rice, but he said that he was the greatest of all time, and it just so happens that he said it in a 49er jersey. So obviously they're going to compare it to Jerry Rice. I was watching First Take, and of course Stephen A. Smith said that it was disrespectful, and Skip Bayless was for Randy Moss. I won't agree. I think Randy Moss is better than Jerry Rice. When you think of greatest of all time, of course you have several different categories. If we're just doing stats, I mean, there's no comparison, of course. But at the same time, sports is not just about the career numbers. We also consider impact on the game, and you also consider scenarios. Like, how many times have sports fans been saying, who's your top starting five, for one epic game? Or how many times you play, video games and you have creative players or, or something of that sort where you have one big epic battle. And if you had to choose certain players in clutch situations or just in one game in its entirety, who would you go with? Me personally, I mean, I would have Randy Moss would be one of my first three picks. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's all about how you judge it. I mean, I think if, we had one game and someone chose Jerry Rice and I chose Randy Moss, I feel that I would win. To be quite honest, career-wise, I mean, if you want to look at stats, let's look at stats. I mean, yes, consistent-wise, Jerry Rice is the role model for that. But when you want to just go over certain years, like look at the first 6 years in Minnesota for Moss, he was the clear dominant wide receiver every single season, and in the in the league and on the team. So, just like Emmitt Smith and how his numbers never really weren't dominant, they were just more consistent. I mean, you look at Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders' numbers were dominating and consistent. But that's a whole nother story. We'll get to that later. But, if you want to look at the stats, of course, Jerry Rice just blows everybody out the water. Of course, he has 3 rings and Moss has none. But if you want to just go about that, I'll give you that all day. But if you want to just go about just sheer raw talent and something based off of who changed the game, Randy Moss by far takes the cake on that. I mean, he reinvented the deep ball. He's the greatest deep threat of all time. Defenses had to change because of him, just because of him. With Jerry Rice was part of a system that changed the game. Moss by himself changed the game. Okay, look at his rookie season. I mean, in his first 6 years with Minnesota. And I said this on Facebook not too long ago. Randy Moss is so good that his name is now a verb. You don't say you got riced, you say you got mossed. So to to act like Moss cannot say what he said is blasphemous to me as a football fan. What he said was, I would say, stupid because he was in a 49er jersey. You know, you don't hear Derrick Rose saying he's the best basketball player of all time, or you know Kobe saying he's the best basketball player of all time, even though you can make an argument. Anyway, but that's another thing. But I think Randy Moss was okay. You know, I think he was right for saying what he said. I think personally, stat wise, yes, Jerry Rice is the best, but my favorite wide receiver was Randy Moss. So I had no problem with what he said. Next order of business, we're going to go to the Super Bowl winners. I'm going to go ahead and take the Ravens. You know, the 49ers are good, but their defense has become more suspect since the playoffs have started. They've given up a lot of points. Colin Kaepernick has been poised and, you know, coming back, but you know, I think it's the Ravens' year. I think Joe Flacco is going to deliver on what he said, that he was an elite quarterback, and I think he's going to do that. But it's not going to be a blowout. It's definitely going to be a close one. But I'm really going to have to go with the Ravens on this one. But next order of business, the NBA Finals. You know, football season's about to end, and we're about to get kicking into basketball. I'm a big Laker fan, or Kobe fan, if you will. I think we're turning things around. I think we'll be able to make a push for the playoffs, but unfortunately, I don't think it's all year for the finals. So I'm going with OKC and Miami Part 2. OKC pulls out the victory this time, and Kevin Durant gets his first chip. Last order of business, the shoe of the week. I'm gonna leave y'all with something smooth. You know, we always try. You know, I always rep for the DMV area. So, shoe of the week, Nines. He never wore these. You know, but he definitely dropped these, and of course they sold out everywhere in the area. But this is just shoe of the week. I'm done. You know, everybody, I want to thank y'all once again, and you know, until next time, peace.